Some jokes cut deeper than any argument. That night, my wife learned that the hard way. My name is Adrian, and for years I endured my wife Mia's sharp tongue. Her sarcasm always walking the line between humor and humiliation. At dinners, gatherings, even at home, teasing was a sport to her, one she always assumed she would win. That evening, the living room was warm with dim lights and the soft hum of the TV. She tossed her hair back, sipped her wine, glanced at her friends, and with a dramatic laugh said, "I swear, I need a new marriage. This one's trash." Her friends giggled. She smirked, proud of herself. She thought it was harmless. Harmless to insult the man who built a life with her. Harmless to take cheap shots in front of an audience. Harmless to treat me like a punchline. What she didn't know was that I had changed. Months of emotional exhaustion had forged a quiet steel inside me. I was no longer the man who absorbed every blow just to keep the peace. So when she finished laughing, expecting me to join in, I leaned back in my chair, let a slow, calm smile spread across my face, and said the words that shattered the room. Finally, something we agree on. The effect was instantaneous. Her smile cracked. The laughter around us died as if someone had pulled the plug. Her friends exchanged stunned glances, realizing the ground had shifted. Mia froze, color draining from her face as she processed my words. Not loudly, not angrily, but with a cool, steady certainty that cut deeper than any insult she had ever thrown. She tried to laugh it off, thin and brittle. "Adrian, babe, it was just a joke," she said, voice faltering, searching for the old dynamic, expecting me to soften. But I didn't. I held her gaze, calm and unwavering, letting the weight of my words settle into her bones. The silence wrapped around her like a cold rope. Her friends lowered their eyes, uncomfortable witnesses to the shift in power. She felt it. For the first time, she wasn't in control. For the first time, she didn't set the tone. And for the first time, she realized that mocking the life I had built had consequences she never imagined. When her friends left, awkward and quickly, Mia closed the door and turned to me, her facade gone. "Why did you say that?" she whispered, as if she didn't understand the depth of the wound she had inflicted for years. I looked at her with calm clarity she had never seen. "Because I'm done being the joke in my own marriage." Her breath hitched. It wasn't anger, now it was fear. Fear of losing something she assumed would always be there, no matter how often she pushed, mocked, or belittled it. She sank onto the couch, hands trembling, finally seeing the reality she had ignored. For years, she mistook my silence for agreement, my patience for weakness, my calm for indifference. She never realized it was restraint. And now, with one sentence, I had shown her the version of me she never believed existed. The man who could decide he'd had enough, who could walk away if pushed too far, the man who valued himself enough to stop being disposable entertainment. Minutes passed. She tried to speak. Soft apologies, explanations, excuses, but none landed. She had mocked our marriage so carelessly, never imagining the day the joke would turn on her. Finally, after a long silence, she whispered, "You don't really mean it, right?" But the pain in her voice wasn't fear of an argument. It was the shock of realizing she had gone too far. I stood, walking toward the bedroom, pausing long enough to say the line that ended any illusions she still held. "I meant every word, and now you know what it feels like." She broke. Her bravado evaporated, replaced by tears, panic, and the stark realization that her joke wasn't harmless. It was a revelation. She wasn't the only one with options. She wasn't the only one capable of shaping the future. The power she thought she had over the narrative shattered the moment I chose to stop shielding her from the consequences of her own cruelty. The next morning, she was different. Quiet, respectful, attentive, shaken. The lesson lingered like a cold echo. Marriage isn't a stage for cheap jokes, and a man's dignity isn't a toy to toss aside for laughs. She expected me to break. Instead, I broke the routine she relied on for years, leaving her completely speechless.